Hello, my name is Andy. Nice to meet you. I just became a crypto millionaire. Again, I'll tell you what I mean by that, but first, let me show you something. This is my crypto portfolio. And as of right now, it's worth just over $1 million. And that is wild. And in a moment, I'll tell you exactly how I got here and what exactly is in my portfolio to make it worth that much. When I started seriously investigating crypto 6 years ago, I would never have dreamed that I would be here on a YouTube channel with nearly 100,000 subscribers and a $1 million crypto portfolio. I mean, who could predict that? But like I said, this isn't my first time being a crypto millionaire. Let me explain. In 2012, a friend of mine told me about this whole Bitcoin thing, which I naturally thought sounded stupid, so I ignored it. Oops.
I've made a huge mistake.
Well, in 2014, I kept hearing about crypto again. So I built a Litecoin mining rig in a milk crate, and after several weeks of it crashing by the time I came home, after I was exhausted from my day job, I gave up on it. So that's an oops again. Now, I did buy a little bit of Bitcoin in 2014, but that was my only good crypto decision at that point. And then, like a dummy, I ignored crypto yet again until 2017. I kept hearing about it. I kept thinking, did this crypto thing die out already? But it was in the news repeatedly and other places online, so I dug in a bit deeper. And what I initially discovered caught my attention. And it made me think about the 1990s when the internet was just starting to catch on a little bit.
We're riding on the internet.
So I jumped in and I made a ton of mistakes. I lost a lot of money. I bought things at all-time highs and then sold them way lower. Or worse yet, I never sold them at all and they ended up failing completely. I also built more mining rigs, which I super overpaid for. Again, lots of mistakes. Then the 2017-2018 crypto bull market was over and it all started to crash. And I watched most people in the space give up and move on with their lives. But I decided that I had had enough of giving up, so instead, I stuck with it. I dove in even deeper from 2018 all the way until 2020 when the next bull run was just getting started. And I invested almost every spare dollar I had and worked a bunch of side hustles like driving for Uber or selling stuff on eBay while also completely foregoing my social life in favor of more time dedicated to crypto. And boy, did it pay off. I became a crypto millionaire. Near peak cycle, I took lots of profits. I learned a lot more. And then this recent bear market happened. And again, people gave up on crypto. History repeats itself. As I watched my portfolio drop below $1 million and I watched everything crash down to earth, I just kept at it. I kept learning, I kept building, and most importantly, I kept mining, buying, and stacking cryptos I thought had potential. And now, here at the end of 2023, at hopefully the very first stages of a new bull market, and way sooner into the cycle than I expected, I am a crypto millionaire again. So, hi, it's me again. Now, if there is one takeaway you get from this video, it should be that if you can chase a massive opportunity when everyone else is either too afraid to chase it or when they've just given up on it, the rewards can be life-changing. So then, what's in my top 10 positions by value in my portfolio? What positions have pushed me over the $1 million mark again? Well, let me walk you through those, but I should probably also say that I likely hit crypto millionaire status a few weeks or more ago, but my crypto tracking app doesn't support all the cryptos I hold yet, so I can't track like 10 plus of my positions. Plus things like all my mining hardware are not tracked. So I'll just cover what is currently being tracked just to keep this a little bit easier. And first up, of course, is Bitcoin. It makes up almost 42% of my portfolio. There is nothing in crypto that I have as much conviction about as I do Bitcoin. I love the orange coin. In fact, many of my other positions, when I distill down their purpose in my portfolio down to just one thing, it's to get more Bitcoin. I've invested over $250,000 into Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining so far. And I have a video on exactly how I've invested that money right here. There is no other position in my portfolio that I have put this much time or money into. And why? Well, because I think $100,000 Bitcoin is inevitable this cycle, and because I think that that's just the beginning. I think Bitcoin will be worth $500,000 to $1 million or more per coin in 10 to 20 years or longer. And in that period, I want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can get. Okay, next up should also not be a surprise if you followed me for any length of time, and it's Flux, making up 28% of my portfolio. I started mining Flux when it was released in 2018. I mined Flux for the rest of 2018 and most of 2019, and in 2019 I also started up my Flux nodes for the first time. I currently run 11 Stratus nodes and 3 Nimbus nodes. I'm bullish on Flux because I'm bullish on compute crypto projects and the entire DePIN sector in general. And if you don't know what that is, you should watch this video. Last bull run, Flux made me a lot of money, and I was fortunate enough to take profits with some good timing, and in the time since then, I have earned or bought back almost all the Flux I sold. So now I am hoping for an even more explosive run for Flux in the next year or two. Making up 6% of my portfolio is Neoxa. I posted in my community about Neoxa not long after it was released over a year ago, and it has made a lot of my members of my community a lot of money. And also probably those of you who've watched my videos about it here on my channel too. And if you want to see what cryptos I'm looking at before I make videos about them, or to see what I'm buying and selling, and if you want to be around a bunch of like-minded people who all want to help each other build wealth and passive income, then you should really check out my community, Sleep Money Club. There is a link down in the description for a 7-day free trial so you can check it out for $0 and with zero risk. So anyway, I started adding Neoxa over a year ago, and it has slowly moved up the ranks of my portfolio, turning an investment of about $8,000 into a position worth over $63,000, which is pretty good, I guess. My 13 Neoxa nodes are making me almost $3,000 a month right now, and it only cost me $78 a month to host those nodes, thanks to Node Orbit, which I do highly recommend if you're looking for node hosting. Next up in the portfolio is the popular kid at the crypto school right now, Kaspa, which makes up 5% of my portfolio. But will Kaspa stay the popular kid is the question, or will it end up peeing its pants in front of the entire crypto class and no longer be so popular? I don't know. I also don't know why I made that analogy. This was another one I talked about in Sleep Money Club almost 2 years ago, before it was even on any exchanges yet. I mined this one super early, and it's made me a lot of money. Now, in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have sold as much Kaspa as I have over the past year, but obviously, since it's still in my top 10, I still have a healthy bag, and I'm mining more every day. In fact, I just spent over $12,000 to get a Kaspa miner that will profit almost $4,000 a month right now, and I have a video on that as well. Again, I am a huge fan of DePIN, and specifically compute projects, so at 4% of my total portfolio, I have Clore AI. Several months ago, I invested $1,850 into Clore, and it's now worth over $35,000. Clore is building a compute platform and marketplace where you can rent machines to do render jobs, AI training, video rendering, etc., on and on. As the need for more and more compute rises over the next few years, I see platforms like Flux and Clore being very well positioned. But there are several other compute projects in this space too that I don't have any exposure to, like Akash and Render, to name a few. Now that I'm halfway through my top 10 positions, if you're enjoying this, consider subscribing. I am so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you would, help me hit that goal and get tons of great crypto content in the process. It's a win-win. Making up just under 4% of my portfolio is Blocksquare, a real estate tokenization platform. Now, I started buying this one over a year ago. It fit into my portfolio nicely because I think real-world asset platforms will be big in the next bull run, but also because they offer staking. The staking has fluctuated between 8 to 15% APY since I started buying it, and it is a great way to generate some passive income while I just hold my tokens. BlockX is 2.6% of my portfolio. I run a full master node and part of a shared node with members of my community in Sleep Money Club. And if you are interested in stuff like that, well then you should join, because sometimes buying the entire node is too expensive, but if you buy into a shared node, it's more affordable. Well, those nodes make me about $2,200 a month right now. BlockX has had a really impressive run up recently, but also had a very expected correction. Hopefully it starts to climb again as they start releasing their computer and security software offerings in the next few months. Playable is 2% of my portfolio. I'm very bullish on crypto gaming, and Playable is a favorite of mine. I now run 12 nodes that make over $3,000 a month in passive income, and they have multiple games that are about to be released, so I expect this one to move higher and higher up my portfolio rankings in the next few months, especially if its crazy explosive growth in the past month or two is any indication of what's coming in the future. Constellation makes up 1.26% of my portfolio. This is another entry into my portfolio that is a DAG blockchain. Kaspa is another. A DAG, or Directed Acyclic Graph blockchain, is one that has multiple chains all running at the same time. And you can visualize this like a bunch of DNA strands all connected together. This is a very interesting technology to me, so I want some exposure to it going forward. Making up 1% of my portfolio is Ethereum. And why, oh why, is ETH only 1%, you might ask? Well, two reasons, I guess. I'm not nearly as bullish on it as Bitcoin, and I don't want to have another safe asset in my portfolio right now. I want growth. Of course, not that there are any safe assets in crypto, because everything has risk, but I think you know what I mean. I want Bitcoin to protect me from my portfolio going to zero, hopefully, fingers crossed. And I want lots of other positions that could explode and do anywhere from a 25x to a 1000x. And based on those two conditions, I haven't added much ETH to my portfolio, but maybe I'll change my tune in the future. Dunno. My top 10 is made up of positions worth as little as $10,000, but as much as $440,000. So I've got some diversity going on, I guess. But this video would be a lot longer if I went into my entire portfolio, which is well over like 50 plus positions now. But if you do want to see some other projects that I like and hold, well then watch this video to see a collection of cryptos that are part of the DePIN sector of crypto, which I think will be absolutely massive in the next bull run. Goodbye.